It's where everything is going. And so people always ask me like, well, do I need a funnel for my business? And I always kind of chuckle because they don't understand the strategy. And when they do, it's like, oh wow, like there's no point to a website. Like the only thing I need is a funnel. So the first core concept you have to understand, I learned this initially from one of my very first marketing mentors. His name is Dan Kennedy. And he said this: can spend the most money to acquire customer wins. And I remember hearing that and just didn't really resonate with me. But bear with me as I share this story with you. You're gonna find out like this is the key, most important thing to understand in business, in marketing, in funnel. So let me tell you my story. So when I got started in this business back 15 years ago, I was in high school and I had built my very first website selling potato guns. Now I had created an information product, I set up a website, I'd done my best. And back then, the way that everybody got traffic to their websites was by using a website called Google. So I went to Google, I started buying my very first Google ads. Now as a college student, I didn't have a ton of money, so I was able to invest about $10 a day into Google ads. Now the good thing for me is I was selling this DVD for $37. And what happened is on average, for every $10 I would spend, I would sell about one DVD. So you do the math on that. I was spending $10, making $37. I had $27 profit that I was putting inside of my pocket. Now what happened is a little while later, Google shifted their algorithms and kind of changed how things work, and the price for every single click started going up. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now what happened is one day I woke up and the ads that I was running were exactly the same. I was getting the same amount of clicks, same amount of people on my website, but now instead of spending $10 a day to get the same amount of traffic, I was spending $50 a day. Now, if you do the math on that, you spend $50 a day, you make $37 a day. I was losing $13 every single day because of my website. Now, I don't know about you, but I really quickly, my wife and I realized we couldn't keep doing that and stay in business. So after 4 or 5 days, I had to turn off my website. And it was over for me. And unfortunately for me and for so many entrepreneurs, that's where most entrepreneurial dreams die, is in you're spending money and you can't be profitable and it just falls apart. A few months later, I had a friend who was in a similar business to me, and he called me up and he said, hey Russell, I think I figured out the secret. He said, I started adding upsells to all of my products. And I was like, what do you mean an upselling? He said, well, it's kind of like McDonald's. You've been to McDonald's? I'm like, yeah. He said, you know when they offer you a hamburger? And I said, yeah. He said, do you know that for them to sell that hamburger, they actually lose money? The money for the ads and the promotion, the marketing, they actually lose money. So they sell you a hamburger for like $2 or $3, and it costs them $4 or $5 to get you there in the drive-in. He said, then they added this little sentence on there and said, hey, would you like fries and a Coke with that? And the majority of people say, oh yeah, sure, throw that in there. And they did that. The fries and the Coke is where they make their money. So they spend $3 or $4 to get someone there. They sell a hamburger for $2. They lose the dollar, but they add fries and a Coke, and all of a sudden, boom, they're profitable. And so he showed me his website. He had similar websites to me selling little information products. And he said, look, what I did is I started having upsells, trying to sell the next thing that someone would need if they bought my first product. And I said, well, how would that work for my potato guns? I don't know. And he said, well, when somebody buys a potato gun DVD, what's the next thing that they need? And I was like, well, the next thing they have to buy the pipes and the glue and the barbecue igniter and all those pieces that you have to go to the store to get. And he said, you should make a kit and just upsell the kit. And so I was lucky, I found someone up in northern Idaho who actually sold potato gun kits, and we did a partnership, and I started adding those as upsells. And so I transitioned my little website into my very first funnel. I didn't know that's what it was called at the time, but it was a funnel. So somebody would buy my DVD, and then on the next page, we'd upsell them a potato gun kit. Now, if you look at the math on how this all worked, I was still spending $50 a day on Google. That didn't change. They didn't lower their prices for me. They were still charging the same amount, and I was still averaging about 1 sale a day of my DVDs. So I was only making $37. So I was actually losing money. But then what was cool is that 1 out of every 3 people who bought my DVD ended up buying my upsell and buying my kit. You look at the math on that, my kit was $197. That means 1 out of 3 means I made an extra $65 for every DVD I sold. That means I spent $50 a day and I was making $102 a day. So you do the math behind that, I was actually making $52 every single day. Now that is when the whole light bulb went off my head. I was like, that's the secret. Like if I can spend more money to acquire a customer, then I win. And that's when I realized that websites made me broke, but funnels actually made me money. Now, as I started my career, after I did that, I started getting excited. I started realizing like, wow, there's so many ways to do funnels, and I can put funnels into any business. And I started doing that, and I started going into really competitive markets where there's tons of competition. And I would look and I would see these people, all they had was a website selling a product. And I would take that concept and I would go start adding upsells and downsells and adding different things in there, and I'd start competing against these people. And what was crazy is they they could spend, however many dollars a day they could spend in advertising. I could spend 2 or 3 times as much money and still make more money. And very quickly, I started beating out all my competitors in every market we went into. If you have a business and you're break even or you're losing some money, a funnel is the secret. That's what gets you from breaking even to becoming profitable. If you're doing well, but you want to grow, a funnel is the secret. It's how you start taking your business and scaling it. You make more money for every single person who comes into your funnel. Okay, the funnels are the secret to growing businesses and getting your message, your products, your services out into the world. Now, obviously, there are lots of different types of funnels, as you learned in the earlier walkthrough. Inside the cookbook, we had 22 different types, and so some of the funnels are specifically for selling a product. Okay, like my potato gun DVD, where I sold the DVD, then I upsold the potato gun kit. Some funnels aren't for that. Some funnels are for generating a lead, then you can send emails to them and sell them things in the future. Some are to generate applications, so you can call them on the phone. Some are funnels to get people into your actual location. It doesn't really matter. There's different funnels for different situations. I think a lot of people think that funnels are this mysterious thing, yet it's happening every single day right now.
All right, welcome, good people. As you can see, I started early, and you might want to get used to that. We're going to talk about front-end funnels today, but not in an educational sense, and a real sense in which I need you to, well, actually, I'm just fixing some things around ATS. If you're stealing, it's a good job to steal. If not, then that's a good job not to steal. But this is one of those good days. I just posted a link out there. I'm going to use Russell Brunson twice. That first video is what is a sales funnel and how to actually create one. Russell Brunson is the CEO of ClickFunnels. I'm not an affiliate, but nobody explains funnels better than Russell Brunson. So there you go. Now, the second video I want to show you, and Grace and Deanna and Tempest and Frida and Monica, you should pay very close attention. And I don't care if you're giving birth. We own it today. You understand? You could be in labor, but there is something that we're going to do, and we're going to do it. And I noticed all the people cameras who should be on are off, for God's sakes. How you do anything is how you do everything. But what I want to do now is I'm going to show a bit of piece of how front-end funnels work and why they are important. Jerome, the reason I'm showing these videos, it's not because I don't know the information. It's because I need people to get what I'm going to say next, especially people in the front office and back office. And as a good old preacher, I like a few amens. And if you don't understand the text, then I can't get no amens. You understand? We're gonna try to understand this and see if we can move forward. If you need money, you don't need a second job. You don't need a loan. You need front-end funnels and more funnels. I said that yesterday, didn't I? And you've been following me for a while. And I typically have a whole week push 1 point. I'm not sure if y'all caught that, but I'll do it Monday through Friday to press 1 point, and it'll be in deeper levels each time. And today's point is a reiteration of yesterday's point. And yesterday's point was you don't need more lines of credit. You need more funnels. Today's point is how to do those funnels. And you can guarantee that Friday will still be talking about funnels. You understand? This is important. It's very important. I show one video. This time I want to show you a second video, and I'll stop it somewhere in the middle. And Tempest, send messages. My brain is hurting. I don't know what Monica doing. She probably in full Costa Rica somewhere, so she's okay. But rest for my brain is hurting. All I can see is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Everybody, this is Russell Brunson, and welcome to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world, and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets. All right, you guys. So, in the office, it's a rainy day, which is nice. It's melting all the snow. Which Boise had a really calm winter this year. Last year we had snowpocalypse, where if you were watching Instagram, Snapchat back then, you saw how we our kids had 10 days off of school because of snow days. We had to raid Walmart for water and generators. It was insanely cool, and then nothing really happened that was that bad. But this year it's just been a mild winter for us, so it's kind of nice. Anyway, I wanted to share a couple cool things because these are cool things that are happening that I just can't not share. All right, so hopefully you guys have heard me talk a lot about concepts like funnel stacking, right? Where it's what's your front end funnel and where does that lead to the second funnel? Where does that go, right? And if you look at the big push that we've done over the last 60 days in our company, it's to really focus on the defined value ladder and killing everything else that doesn't map to it, right? In fact, we shut down 2 multi-million-dollar programs because they did not fit in the value ladder, which is kind of insane. But nevertheless, we did it because that is what we're doing is pure focus on and focus and respect for the value ladder, right? So people come in and there's this process. And so if you look at the way that our value ladder is working now, and there's one big piece I'm revealing at Funnel Hacking Live that I can't reveal yet. Oh, it's so cool though. So it's the key that glues this whole thing together, that sends people through the process. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm in the whole presentation on Funnel Hacking Live. So you don't have your tickets yet, go to funnelhackinglive.com and get your tickets for the greatest event on planet Earth, the greatest show on Earth. You can call me P.T. Barnum if you want. This will literally be the greatest show on Earth. Anyway, but if you look at our value ladder, it's very defined, front-end offers that all lead then to one centralized middle offer, which then all lead to one centralized back-end offer. And that's it. And then my creativity gets to happen on creating a whole bunch of front-end offers. And so we were doing some data and some analytics, and this is the coolest thing ever. So one of the big things we're trying to figure out in ClickFunnels, because the middle, it's here's front-end offers, middle is ClickFunnels, and then the top is excuse me, hiring coaching. It used to be Inner Circle for Life until we filled that up. So now we have a new program coming out soon. It's going to be kind of our back-end coaching program. Anyway, so what was cool is we did a bunch of analytics. We went through and we looked at all of our front-end offers. So the front-end offers, I think we got probably half a dozen or so right now that are active. And then based on that, what was the retention rate of people in the second tier of the value ladder based on the frame that they came into our value ladder through, which was fascinating, so fascinating. So check this out. If the first thing that they bought from us was the 108 split test book, and then from there they sent it into ClickFunnels, our churn rate on people that was the front end offer that came through is less than 3%. Insanely cool, right? Now you shift, if you go the .com Secrets book, somebody buys the .com Secrets book and then creates a ClickFunnels account, the churn rate is 5%. So it's a little bit worse, but still pretty good. Then if you go to what are the other ones? Expert Secrets has higher. I think Expert Secrets is 9% churn rate. Perfect Webinar was 7 or 8. I can't remember off the top of our head. If they just came to ClickFunnels homepage and watched the viral video, it's almost 30%. So because of this data, you'll see some big updates happening to the ClickFunnels homepage. But it's just interesting that the frame that they enter your value ladder in dramatically affects the retention rate of them through the rest of the value ladder. Isn't that fascinating? Obviously, there's it's not a perfect science, right? Because somebody who's looking for split testing or who buys a split testing offer, just by the default of what it is probably more likely to be further along in their career, right? They're looking for split test, it's not something a brand new beginner would typically look for, whereas Expert Secrets is definitely a brand new beginner, or the Gold Digger viral video is so beginner. So it's
all right, I'm going to stop it right there. I hear things differently than most people. I'm not sure if it's a gift or I just pay extreme attention to detail. Russell Brunson said in so many words, oh, there's a purpose for just about everything that we're doing. Then he said, oh, yeah, you come in on the front end. We are with a value ladder walking you to the back end. Oh, by the way, we know where the back end is. By the way, we totally, show my shirt, filled up the back end. At a conference, I'll tell you about it. You can call me PT Barnum. We created another back end. That was basically what that video said. Tippett, write all this down for me.
Also, Antonio.
Yes, sir.
If we were to apply this to you, then people who entered your awareness stage through Les Brown are going to have a different level of retention compared to people who entered your ladder through Keep Walking book and those who entered through Goalcast. If I am right, those are the 3 spikes that you experienced in your brand's awareness. So yeah, and also then I was surprised that there are people who know you from your childhood. That was just moving away, but their retention is just going to be different. So the frame of entry, basically, it is like first impression is the last impression, and your front end is your first impression. It's just age-old wisdom applied to internet marketing.
Yeah, that's a very good observation that I wouldn't even came up with, and I was just thinking about that. It is, as he was talking, I was just thinking about it. Those spikes. Do you have a plan for the spikes in your career? That's what came up to me when he was talking. All right, Jerome gets it. Do you have a plan for the spikes in your career? But what we're going to do today is front end funnels, but I have a different way of doing it. I have a different agenda, and we're going to carry on into the mastermind with it in a deeper way. Well, not a deeper way. We're going to extend it because I'm going all deep for the next 48 minutes. I'm not holding nothing back. Now let's ride that Ibrahim energy. Tempest, write this down for me. Number 1. Oh, yeah. We know where we're going. Number 2. We are walking our customers to where we want them to go. Number 3, we filled up our back end. Number 4, we had to make a new back end because we filled up our back end. Very interesting. Very interesting. It has come to mind, and that's all we talk about in this meeting, Jerome, those 4 things, because that's all he said. Now, I must, Jerome, I believe your Bible says, how can 2 walk together lest they agree? Is that, okay, all right, I just want to make sure that, can you walk somewhere and not know where you're going? Sure. Will you walk in an ignorant circle? Yes, there's no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, when I was in the United States Army at a job that I had, we had to do land navigation at PLDC. Jerome knows what I'm talking about. Okay, you understand? That's the primary leadership development course. It's named something else now, but when I went through, it was PLDC. Right. It was PLDC. This is where you get your stripes. Jerome went through it. Jerome went through B knock and A knock too. You understand? That's military talk. This is where you get your sergeant stripes.
And graduated distinguished honor grad.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Antonio, which one of those spikes had the highest retention? Goldcast. Goldcast. Goldcast has the highest retention, and they keep reposting the video over and over and over. Goldcast.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
can I say something before you
Please.
go? The thing that's running through my mind,
Mhm.
let me tell you why I'm excited, okay? And you ain't even started doing what you gonna do. Let me tell you why I'm excited. Number one is because in my business development and getting to where I'm at right now, I have not used ClickFunnels,
Mhm.
but you have.
Mhm.
And I've seen the results of that. So you're just not bringing this up just to kind of like, okay, let's try something different. Let's try something new. You're trying to say to us that, hey, folks, this is important. If you want your business to grow and prosper, you need to not only pay attention to this,
That's right.
you need to implement this for your, not ATS's, for your business.
That's right.
That's why I'm excited, okay?
That's right.
Because I'm sitting and listening to Brunson talk, and I'm going, that makes perfect sense. If you're using this system, you need to look at the results of what this system does if you take it from A and take it to Z. And if that's not working, change that. If you can do the split testing and the other one worked better than this one, then use that one. If you filled it up, come up with something new or add to that. That's what you need to do in order to make it work. And I'm sitting there going, ooh. So the more you talk, the more excited I get, because I'm sitting there going, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Hello.
Yeah, that's it. That's no. Jerome sped us up to the 58th minute of the call today because I was going to tell you this. If you want predictable income, Tempest, what's number one?
Know where we're going.
You need to know
A
where
funnel.
you go, right? Come on. That's right. If you want predictable income, Tempest, what's number two?
We are walking our customers to where we want them to go.
You need to be walking your customers somewhere, and they don't need to be walking themselves. If you want predictable income, what's number three, Tempest?
Fill your back end.
Do your company even have a back end? And do you have Russell Brunson's problem that, oops, we filled it up? And if you want massive predictable income, Tempest?
Make a new back end because we filled our first back end.
Thank you, Jerome, so much. You teach so well, Jerome. You're just such a good church member. I just tell you, you just, Jerome being a choir, he'd be ahead of the preacher. That's right. That's the Greek-speaking Jews. And then the preacher be like, Greek-speaking Jew. That's it. Jerome know the whole sermon. You understand that? Yeah, I got to sit in the choir with Deacon so you'll understand. Actually, it ain't even a deacon. It was a dude named Harold. He was stuck in them streets, but now he's saved. You understand. Anyway, that's the one, Sister Booker, that shake your hand with $100 in it if you did good. Okay, all right. Yeah, anyway, y'all not old enough. Y'all ain't old enough to understand what I'm saying. This is our roadmap. Now, here's the deal. Monica's doing two jobs right now. She's doing a sales job with us. She's doing a sales job with someone she contracted with. Everybody got it? She's on two meetings right now at the same time. I hope she hit me. I'm about to compliment her. That company has more whatever than this company because they got number one down. Do you understand? What's number one again, Tempest?
They know where they're going.
I know where we're going. My customers know where we're going. Do y'all departments know where you're going? And there it is. But think about this for a moment. If I say, Deanna, do you know where you're going? I mean, if you can't give me a precise answer, you're lying to yourself. You're making it up as you talk. Tempest told me yesterday, I don't want no job, and I don't want no job, and I don't want no company. I just want my end of the company to make $500,000 for the team monthly or something like that. She said a monthly or yearly. She know where she want to go now. She's talking about the IT, the part that ain't got nothing to do with the front end. Deanna told me, what's this, Tuesday? Deanna told me this weekend. Deanna said, I don't want no company. All I want is to get the money without having a responsibility. I said, well, you know, that makes you a principal investor there. You out here trying to be a business owner when you want to be in the I quadrant. You want to be an investor. So you frustrated at, I'm talking to somebody. You frustrated with the overhead and the employees when you should just be using your money like Warren Buffett and say, checks come to me now. Jerome, what you doing over there? You all right, you get it? Jerome, what you doing over there? I like what you're doing. Here's some money. Make sure, because that's what Sister Booker do. Don't think she don't. Somebody gonna get it later. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody gonna get it later. Yes, sir. I'm talking today, Jerome.
Oh, yes, you are. And this is a private message for Tempest Smith. Just before this meeting, Tempest, the $3,200 is in Kenya right now. Just wanted you to know.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at him. Jerome making this money work for him. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, y'all. Listen. Do you know where you're going? Do we know where we're going? I know we know where we're going. I know where I'm going. It's laid out. But then it breaks down once I say something. You understand what I'm saying? So what we have to do is strengthen it. For instance, I said yesterday what we was going to do. I said yesterday we're going to build front-end funnels for Happy and Secure. Put this in the chat, Grace. Mexit News, ATS TV, ATS Radio, and I'm missing one. Which one am I missing, Tempest?
Bureau.
And the Bureau Influence. Thank you so much. Bureau Influencer Speakers. And I said,
What about Mexit?
Yeah, Mexit, absolutely. You need me to repeat, but you should know. You put it down. That's actually the thing I'm talking about. Mexit News, ATS TV, Bureau Influencer
The
Speakers.
Bureau is, because as far as I know, even though you'll be doing the funnel and whatnot for the Bureau, it's ultimately going to be Phil's baby, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. ATS TV, ATS Radio, Bureau Influencer Speakers. It's time, Dolores. Now, if you think I'm picking on everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I'm only talking what is true. It's time for you to understand what I'm saying instead of trying to remember what I'm saying. Let me tell you a story. 8th grade, went to Central Middle School, used to be Central High School, the first Black high school in Texas. It was converted to a middle school. You know, Galveston used to be like almost the capital of Texas at one point. I'm not sure if y'all know that, but anywho. And old shop teacher, swear to God, he just like Jerome. Play dominoes, bust your head open real quick. Don't be the back man. It's over for you. You understand? It's over for you. Don't let him hold you, because he ain't worried about if everybody win. He just know you ain't gonna win. Y'all gonna catch that later. That's all right. Y'all don't play dominoes enough. And he had on his wall, he had these 3, he said 3 rules when you walk into this shop, and it was carved into the wall. I don't know if he made up himself. 3 rules. Rule number 1, don't hear no. Write that down for me, Grace. Don't hear no. Rule number 2. Don't remember, understand. Rule number 3, since you understand, do. And every morning he'd break this down to us because, we kids, we 12. And we 12. We think we know everything, Jerome. You understand? Can't nobody tell us nothing. And he would say every morning to this, I had no idea he was teaching me life lessons. No idea. He said, just because you hear something, but don't mean, no, it was no K-N-O-W, my bad. Just because you hear something don't mean you know it. Oh, yes. Come on. Yeah, I don't want to see, Margie and them, they with this right now. You understand? You young folk again. You young folk. Always you young folk. Just because you hear something or shit don't mean you know it. But y'all answer too fast. Because you got that fear of rejection. Phil will teach you about that a little bit. And since you got that fear of rejection, you got to hurry up and say something. And just because you think you know it now, you say, well, as long as I remember it, I'm good. But remembering don't mean understanding. Because only when you understand something, you actually do it. As long as you remember it, it goes backwards. You just know. And just because you know, don't mean you understand. It just means you heard. It's why you want to lose weight, but don't lose weight. Do you understand? Okay, we real old school today, Stradivari. I know that I know where I'm going. I know where we're going because I understand. But when a customer come to you, Arshia, in your company or an ATS, do you understand where they're going? Tempest, repost that 1 through 4 I had you do because I need them to see it. I need them to see it. If I ain't told you nothing else, Ibrahim has a book. Is Ibrahim walking his customers who buy the book to the goal is the back end, but what's number 2? What's number 2, Grace? Read out loud.
We are walking our customers to where we want them to go.
Now, when they buy his book, they think they in charge. But if he builds his system well enough, a value ladder, he's in charge. Something I always say since the book I haven't said
And
in a long time.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
that's missing. I will be the first one to admit. So I've created this piece, but this is not the final piece. I know for a fact that, first of all, this book is not the front end, because what gets consumed more than books? Videos and audio.
That's
So
right.
my front end is going to be my YouTube. It's going to be my social media within 3 months. So the book is going to be the middle, and then the back end will be developed, which I still have no idea. As you said, you should know, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to funnel people into a coaching package, into a mastermind, or into a digital product. I have no idea.
There you go.
I have yet to decide, but I'm in no rush as long as I know that the first thing for me is to develop the front end. I'm not even working on the back end because I want to know if the front end is going to be successful. Because if the front end on social skills, communication, charisma isn't what the market wants, then I shouldn't be building a whole course on it. So the front end for me is going to be the next thing. So soon you'll see my YouTube channel.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for your honesty, but thank you. See, since he understands now, he knows where all his holes are. And that's the battle. G.I. Joe been saying
Exactly.
that.
A lot of people are in my position. 90% of the people would be in my position. They have a random product. But the difference is I know what is missing and I'm working towards it. I don't need to be successful tomorrow. So I'm in no hurry to build everything overnight, but I know what I have to build this quarter and then what I have to build by the December of this year. A lot of
Right.
people don't know that. And that's why I am at an advantage, which
Super
you are
advantage.
neutralizing.
Mhm.
Which you're neutralizing, by the way, by exposing to everyone else as well. So you're really you're putting people in my competition now.
That's facts, actually. That's facts. Knowing, like, I don't want you to think about divine connections. And this divine connections following these 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't come from me. That's why I play Russell Brunson video. Yeah, I never get up here half cocked. I got all my bullets in my gun aimed at my target every time. I never hip fire. I know where I'm going tomorrow. You guarantee it's going to be about funnels and customer acquisition and walking them to something. You can guarantee I'm going to break down value ladder in great detail sometime this week. You can guarantee during the mastermind, the mastermind going to be tough today. The mastermind going to force y'all to think about your companies. Who in here has ever wrote a business plan? Did you enjoy it? It's the worst. It's like going to the dentist.
I've written one of those plans where you're just fantasizing about it, and I've written real business plans for real businesses because I was a marketing consultant.
That's right.
And dude, the latter is like mathematics homework while you have ADHD and you're drinking Red Bull. So it's just that nuts.
Absolutely. Writing a business plan. It's getting a root canal with no numbing anything. It is irritating. Every step of the way is, because it forces you to think about your business in a way you haven't, and you feel stupid the whole way through. Anybody ever wrote one know what I'm talking about. It's painful. That's what the mastermind gonna be. Understanding where Ibrahim knows he is gives him a super competitive advantage because he's the only one that's chipping away at his weaknesses while everyone else is meandering around their companies. Coaches and consultants, your coaching package should not be the back end of your company. It should not. There's no reason coaching should be the back end of your company. It's too easy to get to you. The back end shouldn't be easy. We don't want everybody on our back end, Margie. We only want 5% of the people who come through our organization on the back end, because our back end shouldn't be no less than a couple of $100,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your back end should be something like $200,000. And if you're good enough to coach at $200,000, then your back end need to be $2 million. Let's take Divine Connections real quick. I was having a good conversation with Dolores last night, and I was just laughing inside my head. Let's take Divine Connections real quick. People come interview for free, and they get on a magazine they have to buy. Typical business model. You understand? Basically, Dolores is saying, come work for me for free and then pay me, basically, which is industry standard. So it's not a bad thing. You understand? Industry standard. But every last one of those industries were killed by Twitter. Twitter single-handedly killed magazines and journalists to the point to where if you're a journalist at a news station now, you are required to get on Twitter and post like 150 articles a month or something. I am not joking. I'm not joking. If you're a journalist, you must be on Twitter because news happens real fast on Twitter. Real fast. The back end of Divine Connections is buying the magazine or something after that. And that ain't good enough for somebody as smart as her. You need 10 more steps. You feel me? After the magazine comes blank, and you're going to enjoy the mastermind because we're going to build it out. After the blank comes this blank, comes this blank. And then by the time they get to the end, they paying $100,000 for something. I genuinely called Arshia. Yes, she messed the whole conversation up, y'all. She owed me push-ups. She owed me super duper push-ups. I did. I called, the first person I called was Law. Beautiful, blessed conversation. You know what? First thing Law said was, and that fits right in alignment. Blank. That's it. Doesn't matter what I talked about because I ain't telling y'all. Then I said, all right, let me call. Then I called Chiquita. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I called Arshia, and all that phase 1 stuff popped up. And I told her, I said, go back, watch this video, be quiet. And of course, her being her, she does it because she's a good student, very obedient, plus very aggressive about her dreams. So kudos to you with your silly self. Right? Kudos to you. Think about this for a moment. Are you willing to trade 5,000 for 5 million? And if the answer is yes, you should probably shut up. That's as rude as that sounds. That's what it is. Are you willing to invest $5,000 per customer to turn that customer into 5 million? And if the answer is yes, stop complaining. If the answer is not, get out the CEO position. Some of y'all are hurting your companies because you shouldn't be the CEO. You can be the chief visionary officer, but you shouldn't be the chief executive officer. You're too timid, you're too scared, and you're too whatever. However you spend your money in real life is how your business will spend money. You can't have middle class habits and then build an upper class business. It is not until you change that your business will change. Just is what it is. However you manage your bills, if you're the let me take care of my credit so I can get a loan, your business is full of loans. You understand what I'm saying? It just is what it is. This isn't up for discussion. Divine connections. A customer come in. She needs to say, now, where are we going with this customer? And it better not be buying the magazine. That's where we going first. That ain't where we going. I fly out to North Carolina. I say, Dolores, girl, you cute. Let's go out. She say, what's your intentions for me? Oh, I don't know. That whole conversation better stop. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying I'm supposed to say get married, but I'm supposed to have an answer. A direct, I ain't really got no intentions right now. I'm trying to figure you out. Okay, I respect that. But that ain't a man you need to be with. Oh, they don't. Margie, there I go again.
Facts.
There I go again. It's not a man you need to be with. All right, let's try that conversation. I fly out. Say, let's go out. I'm feeling you. Let's see if we can get to know each other. Cool. I told her where we going. Mm-hmm. It's easier for her to say yes now because I told her where we going. Mm-hmm. Rewind, press play, they missed it. Mm-hmm. Metaphorically, I'm making her the customer now. Oh, you came to do a magazine. You came in to do an interview. Please know, you buying this magazine. Oh, you buying this magazine. And let me tell you how you're buying this magazine, because I'm walking you to it. You understand?
Antonio, you stumbled across the right point as well in another way. Let me explain.
Yeah, please.
So many people, because you brought in the analogy of relationships, so many people do not tell someone where they're going because they're afraid that if they tell them clearly what their intentions or ultimate goal is, the person is not going to walk with them.
Wow.
And that might be okay in, like, if you're trying to get laid or whatnot, but in business, you do not want unqualified people walking halfway through your funnel because they're wasting your time as well.
That's facts. And let me tell you something. Monica and Grace and Frida is tired of calling unqualified people. Do you hear me? It's one of the worst things you can do to a salesperson. Give them a list with a bunch of unqualified people. It's one of the worst things you can do. It's one of the worst things you can do. Dolores, you sure look good. Let's go out to eat. We go out to eat. She say, what you expect from me? Well, we go out 3 times. I expect something. The third date rule. If 3 times, listen, I'm saved, but I'm not celibate. We go out 3 times. Something gotta happen. I need a kiss on the cheek or something. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Because saying that up front, she could walk away or she stay. If she stay, she made a choice. She know what's up. She walk away, she's an unqualified customer. Okay, I think you're missing it again. If she stay, she is for my program. If she leave, I go find me another Dolores. That's what as old folk call coating.
That's it.
You court as many people as you want. You only marry one. You court as many people as you want. I'm trying to keep it in the old folk talk. Okay, it's coating. It's coating. You understand what I'm saying? It's coating. Abraham could marry 4. You understand? But think about this. If you don't say up front, you come in here, it's gonna be rough. We tearing your whole business apart. And Antonio got crazy. He say too much sometimes, but just keep listening. It's a point in there somewhere. If they stay, they with the program. They leave, that's somebody you needed to leave. Because like I told you before, ain't no church benefiting from you hating the pastor. Not a one. You understand? Not a one. Back to Divine Connection. I'm walking through these 1 through 4 using her company. Do she know where she going? She already did, but I bet she got a bigger picture now. I bet she got levels down. Is it a retreat that costs $25,000 a person? Is it? It could be. It could be a retreat costs $25,000 a person. That covers the flight and hotel, which costs her $5,000. She pocket $20,000 per person. Only 12 people can come. 12 times 20, Grace. Say it on the mic.
12 times 20.
1,000.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It's a 24 in there with a lot of zeros. Hold on. 12 times 20.
240.
Yes, 240,000. Thank you, Sister Booker.
Can you work with that, Dolores? $240,000 in 3 days. You can work with that out. That's what I call a back end. And then Russell Brunson, I'm gonna skip a step, said, oh, we done filled up the back end. We done filled up the field up. So now we got to create another one. May we
Antonio,
all. Yes, sir.
That's where your what you said about coaching really sticks, because his backend doesn't require his time, so he can create a second backend.
Right.
But if you're initially like trying too hard to fill up a backend and your value stack involves your own time, then you might just get trapped and not be able to create another backend.
Man, I'm so glad you said that. Phil said something yesterday. Almost had me shouting in my little washroom.
You did.
Phil, Phil read what we talking about today. Phil, please, can you just go get it and read it again? It's just too much, y'all.
That's the part I didn't hear.
It's
something about too much.
nah, it's just with Ibrahim. Go ahead, Phil.
Excuse me. Chapter 8 on the power of your subconscious mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy. How to get the results you want. The principal reasons for failure are lack of confidence and too much effort. Many people block answers to their prayers by failing to fully comprehend the workings of their subconscious mind. When you know how your mind functions, you gain a measure of confidence. You must remember wherever your subconscious mind accepts an idea, it immediately begins to execute it.
So much, Phil. Can y'all mute your mic and clap for this, Phil, this book? I mean, he dropped that on us last night, and I about dropped the whole control out my hand, Margie. I couldn't even concentrate. I mean, that was to hear that one of the number one causes of failure is you trying too hard. That is world shifting, paradigm shifting, as the late Bob Proctor would say. That's incredible. That's tough. And that's what Ibrahim just said. Russell Brunson ain't got to try too hard to create another back end because he ain't got all this time in that back end. I'll tell you a story. I was getting my Pontiac Sunfire, my 2000 Pontiac Sunfire fixed because, in Texas, we go to the Shade Tree Mechanics. I needed my fuel filter changed and my brakes changed. Old man on 53rd, where they wear blue at. Don't wear red over there. On 53rd. It's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. He said, buy me 2 6-packs and give me $40. Oh, and some menthols. Get the menthols. Yeah, the menthols. That's what I paid. And he sat under that tree. He changed my little fuel filter. And I was like, man, this woman stuff don't pay what I thought it does. I might need to go get a little second job, but they don't let you do that. They call it moonlight. He said, why would you do that? He said, why would you do that? All I do is fix cars right under this tree. And I got more money than you. Well, why is that? He said, because you spend all your day trying to make money. And this is what he said, I'll never forget. The man who spends all his day trying to make money has no time to make money.
Mm. Yeah.
Them old folk in Texas been talking a long time. If all you do is spend your time trying to make money, you ain't got no system to give you time to actually make money. If you're a coach or a consultant, your back end should not, under any circumstances, be you. I'm going to tell you the real reason why. Because you pay for access. And if you're coaching, you already made access to you easy. At best, you have a buffer as a free consultation to see if you want to work with that person. So coaching, even for the team of coaches, too much access to you. Too easy. Real access to you should be that inheritance. You understand what I'm saying? Real access to you should be something like $250,000. You should genuinely say, I only need 5 people this year. That's it. And 5 people paying you $250,000 to do you just right. But you don't know where you're going. And number 2, you ain't walking customers to where you want them to go. And your company should be doing that. I used to say this all the time. Haven't said it in a while. Never. I used to tell one Grace was doing something, say, Grace, don't you ever put my prosperity in their hands again. Y'all got too much of your prosperity in your customers' hands. Too much. First off, your customer don't even know what they're doing. Whoever said the customer is always right is wrong. The customer is always wrong. The market is always right. The market is a bunch of customers agreeing on something. You know how hard it is to get people to agree, especially a bunch of them? They right every time. This is what Ibrahim said. Ain't no sense in me building charismatic and this if don't nobody want it. Yeah, he said if a bunch of people say we ain't buying it, they right. If one person said they ain't buying it, they probably jealous. You know what I'm saying? The market's always right. And don't confuse the market with a bunch of people. I didn't say a bunch of people. I said a bunch of people looking for one thing agreeing. A bunch of people said the internet is a fad. A bunch of people on the internet disagreed. A bunch of people said cryptocurrency ain't gonna last. A bunch of people holding cryptocurrency disagreed. Just like a bunch of people tell you ain't gonna make it, but a bunch of people buying from you disagree. Amen. You understand what I'm saying? Do you know where you're going? And are you walking them there? That's why tomorrow's obviously going to be about value there. Because the next logical question is, Margie's going to call Grace and say, tell Antonio, tell me how to walk there. That's what Margie goes. Margie good for that, y'all. I don't know if y'all know it. Margie is good for that. She's good for that. And so obviously tomorrow's going to be the ladder that, well, actually it won't be tomorrow. It would be mastermind. I forgot we got the mastermind. So the mastermind would be, if you know what, everybody has access to the mastermind today. I don't want to hold it. I don't want to hold it back from you. Everybody has access to the mastermind today. You understand? I'm trying. Everybody has access to the mastermind because I don't want you to be underprivileged. Is almost want. What I'll do is we'll disconnect here, then I'll go live again just for everybody else to have on the internet. Now, because this isn't just too important, because how do you get the 3? How does ATS fill up our back end? And if I ask everybody here in ATS, what's our back end? Not even Tempest could tell me, and that's my fault. See, there I go again, Frida. See, that's why some of you CEOs shouldn't be CEOs. If you can't take blame, you genuinely shouldn't be a CEO. Genuinely, you should not. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be a pastor if you're unstable. Nobody's trying to follow an unstable leader. I told my boys.
Antonio,
yes, sir.
what is the back end? It seems like on one end, it seems like you're trying to teach people how to code so they can build their multi-million-dollar businesses, and you will extract the money by partnering with them. So the next Facebook has like 20% Antonio ownership. Because just looking at the business model itself, because you're helping people exit the middle class, there's a very small chance that you'd be able to make like 250, 350,000 off of their upfront transaction, even on the back end. So it seems like your back end is something that would involve a profit share or a payment plan. And of the things that have the payment plan, it seems like blowing up people's brands, turning them into pro speakers is one, and the other is turning them into pro coders. So what really is the back end?
Yep, great question.
Don't mind.
No, I got you. If I can't answer it, I don't know it, but I do know it. The back end is bifurcated. Create a digital world that then becomes the real world because we buying a whole city and building one. That's the back end. And every customer that you remember, the Abraham was helping me write, is still helping me write the book, Life Without Money or something like that. That's the back end. But before you get to building that actual city, I got to do it digitally first. And then, like the book of Revelation, Jerome, I got to have a new world, the sin on the old world, and you log into our meta-ness right in our digital, our physical world. There's your back end. There's your back end. And I said it's my fault because I don't talk about it enough. Man, Ibrahim wrote a whole book about it. You ain't heard nothing about it. I don't talk about it enough. I don't talk about it enough. Pay close attention. Everybody lean in. Tempest, if somebody come in ATS and you're not thinking, is this a possible citizen in our city? You ain't walking them where they need to go. Now that makes a difference. See, I know Stradivari can live in the city. You understand? No. I need you to catch that. I need you to catch it. If you have to build a city, do you build it with people who need welfare? I see y'all don't want to keep it real with me. If you have to build a city, I sound real Republican right now. Do you build the city with people who are too weak to carry something?
Of course not.
You understand? You can bring these people in later, but you can't build with them. You can't build with people peeing on your fire instead of putting logs on it. As a matter of fact, here's a good test for all of you. A good test for all of you is I want you to look at your last 5 text messages. Go ahead. If you ain't driving, look at your last 5 text messages. Go ahead. Be honest. Ask yourself, how many of those people putting logs on your fire, and how many of those people peeing on it, and how many of those people ain't doing nothing?
3 of them are from my banks.
That's tough. Neutral is poison. Dousing your fire out is poison. If you don't have people saying, Dolores, girl, your fire is bright, let me make it brighter, you're texting the wrong people. That's 100%. Come on, Law.
No, I was just going to add, you definitely don't want the welfare because then they'll always be dependent on you. But it's a huge part of the reason why I have to leave. So, yeah.
No doubt. No. Is our city going to have welfare? Yes, the whole city will be. I'm not telling you throw the sick away. Don't take care of the elderly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're going to have elderly folk, well, they need some skills. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to have sick folk, they need some skills. If you can't pick up no sheetrock, what can you do? You got to do something. Every nation needs all the things. Let me wrap this up. I spent 1 and 2 today. Right after this, we're going to draw it out. I'm going to use ATS and I'm going to make them figure it out. And we're going to, like, literally, I'm going to use the whiteboard and we're going to draw out what I'm talking about. We're genuinely going to draw it out. But I need you to process it. Every avenue of wherever customers can get to you, you need to know where you're going. And then you need to know where you want them to go. And if it's to buy your front end product, then you're saying, Lord, please make me poor. Because the wealthy focus on money on the back end. Amateurs focus on money on the front end. And if all you doing is selling your products, then you're genuinely growing the crop and eating them all. And you cannot sustain your life that way. And the last time I checked, hold on, this is a great way to punch people in the throat. Since most of y'all come from this place, Sandals, if you would. You know what? Let's Tempest do it. She likes the Message version anyway. Tempest, if you would. I'm gonna pull up the Message version. Hold on. Not the Message version. I'm gonna pull up the English Standard Version. No, it made it too plain. It made it too plain. I'm gonna pull up the English Standard Version. Tempest, if you don't mind, if you can just read what it tells, what it says about a good man. Right there, Tempest, what it say?
A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous.
And see, that's your doggone problem. All you know, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. There's something came before that, Dolores. That you were commanded. I don't care. Listen, this ain't got nothing to do. This first off, them ain't even Christians saying that. Oh, see, those are Hebrews saying that. And well, I'm not even gonna give you that. Hebrews saying that. Right? Pay attention, because that makes it universal now. Because Ishmael, Muslims, Isaac, Hebrews. That makes it universal now. Do you understand? Pay ye attention. These folk, way back in the day, before there was electricity, when the wheel was new technology, said you got to leave an inheritance. Might be time to focus on leaving an inheritance, because your kids shouldn't have to ask somebody else for a discount to bury you. Tony O.T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. I will see you in the mastermind. We're drawing all this out. I'm picking up immediately. All right, everybody. Love you. Too hard today. Wait, no, feel.
Love you more.